My next guests are on a mission to get married in all 50 states or until they get everything in their gift registry, whichever comes first. Their story is featured in the new documentary, Married and Counting. Here's a clip.
For 25 years, we made vows to each other every day that we woke up and chose to stay together, better, worse, richer, poorer. These vows I make to you every day. And on this final wedding day, the last thing to say is, and now it's finished. Now we shall never be parted.
Joining me now is Pat Dwyer and Stephen Moshe. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
So you've been
very
together
much.
25 years, and now you decided to just go to all these states that have legal gay marriage and get married in them.
That's right. It
How
was,
many?
At the time, 8, now 9.
Now
We've
9.
been married 9 times now. The whole thing started as a celebration of our 25th anniversary together.
Uh-huh. Are you going to just keep going to state if the Supreme Court decides it's a federal law to get married?
As long as states are able to have statutes against same-sex marriage, right now the Supreme Court is deciding on Section 3 of DOMA.
Right.
And if they acknowledge that Section 3 is unconstitutional, then the federal government will be able to recognize our marriage the same way they recognize anybody else's. But Section 2, which is not under question, says the states can have laws against same-sex marriage. So we'll still be a state-by-state.
Isn't he smart?
He's very smart. Is that the attraction? He's smart and you're not as smart?
He's smart, but look at how pretty he is.
Well, you're both pretty.
I was the pretty one.
I'm the stupid one, honestly.
You're the dumb one?
I am.
Okay,
It's
well,
true.
you know, the yin and the yang.
Yeah, right?
So is it difficult to get married in all these different states? It must be different paperwork for every state.
The paperwork is different state by state. We had to go to D.C. twice to get the marriage license, right? But we did Iowa over the internet. And we did a one-day trip to Vermont and New Hampshire to get those marriage
Oh,
licenses.
so you didn't
in
have
one day.
ceremony, you didn't have a big deal in each one.
We would get the license, they would tell us how much time we had, the window to get married, and then we would do little road trips to each state.
I see.
That took maybe a weekend.
What was your favorite state?
I think my favorite was New York.
New York.
Yeah,
Of
we got
course.
married on Coney Island right after New York, passed the law.
They say if you can get married here, you can get married everywhere.
I've heard that somewhere. That's a,
Well, and each one of our weddings was very different because we had very close friends get ordained. And they would conduct our
see.
ceremony
So
for us
that's
as people
nice.
that we love that were marrying us.
and the weddings had a theme. We had a Jewish wedding, we had a literary wedding. Everything was different.
I think that's kind of fun.
It was fun, and
Yeah.
for my job is I throw parties for a living, so it was like throwing a new party once a month.
I see.
With wedding cake.
Now, if this thing does pass in the Supreme Court, there a lot of conservative groups are saying they're going to protest it. Can they, first of all, can they do something to overturn it?
It would take another case before the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
It would take another decision from the Supreme Court. No, it's very difficult on the judicial level to make
overturn.
these kinds of changes.
Well, it's like Obamacare when Roberts said it's okay. Now they can't overturn it so easily.
Exactly.
It really does make a big difference when the Supreme Court does it, which is why they can be dangerous also.
That's why people are fighting so hard. About 10 years ago, when there wasn't, maybe one state had legalized gay marriage, people weren't really fighting it. But as each state has passed, closer and closer, those high heels are dug into the ground. They are trying so hard to fight this from happening. And they can't stop it.
What is your feeling about why people are so against? Some people, I mean, obviously, most Americans are on your side right now.
Many are.
But there are many who will fight it, who don't want it, who say it's a sin, who say everything against it. What is their problem? What are they afraid of, do you think?
I
What's
think
your
human
theory?
nature has always been disinclined to change. They're so scared.
So what are they scared of? Because they don't have to change.
Fire and brimstone.
There's
for one
nothing
thing.
they have to do. You think they're afraid of going to hell?
I think they are.
If they say it's okay for you two guys to be happily married, they're going to go to hell? What kind of logic is that?
Well, the thing is, too, when people raise these objections, they automatically go to, well, why not? Well, people will be able to marry animals. It's like that, we're here and they go over
that's
here.
just
Have you heard this argument? It is idiotic.
Idiotic.
I heard somebody say, I could marry my TV set.
Yeah,
Truly.
please do.
Yeah.
Keep you from reproducing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what do you think about the fact that, we have a lot of, by the way, I have to just reiterate that the majority are on your side.
It's
and
it's
that
at
must be very
57%
heartwarming
now.
for you now. How
Yeah.
many? 50?
57%
was
now.
the last
I mean,
poll.
what was it 10 years ago? 10%? I mean, look at the progress, really.
It's amazing.
And the progress that has happened rapid fire. And I know it's not fast enough for a lot of people, but it is remarkably fast.
And do you think that has something to do with TV? Speaking of marrying your TV, what about, watching your TV and seeing, A Modern Family and Will and Grace, et cetera, et cetera?
Ellen. She is beloved. With every new gay character on a sitcom, on a TV show, every new beloved gay celebrity, people are beginning to say, yes, I will get behind this.
Yeah. I have a gay friend, an older woman who's a lesbian, and she said when Ellen came out and did that, she said that's a big mistake. She's going to ruin her career. And she didn't.
No.
She didn't. So I think that you have to push the envelope a little bit, and she did that.
That's how you make progress.
Yeah.
Visibility creates understanding.
I think so, too.
At all
it's
times.
like now people say, hey, my postman could be gay, the cop, the fireman, my doctor. And so, and you're watching people on TV, it becomes more palatable, I guess, to people who really, they didn't know what gays looked like. Listen, they used to think Jews had horns in certain parts of this country, And then they saw Seinfeld and they said, oh, he doesn't have horns. Right. Let's take a break. We'll have more with Stephen and Pat after this short break. Okay. I'm back with Pat Dwyer and Stephen Mosher, stars of the new documentary Married and Counting. Now, the gay conversion organization Exodus International has recently closed its doors. The president, Alan Chambers, offered an apology to the gay community. Let's watch.
I'm sorry that we promoted sexual orientation change efforts and reparative theories about sexual orientation that stigmatized parents. I cannot apologize for my deeply held beliefs about the boundaries I see in Scripture surrounding sex. I cannot apologize for my beliefs about my marriage, but I do not have any desire to fight you on your beliefs or the rights that you seek. You haven't ever been my enemy, and I'm sorry that I've been yours.
Okay. What's your reaction? Do you feel that was a real apology?
Ex-Southern Baptist right here. Talk, please.
Yeah, I think it is a real apology. I mean, what I have to say to Exodus is bye.
You were in Exodus.
I was not in Exodus, but I did go through a lot of
Tell me about
reparative work.
How old were you?
Between the age, I sort of became conscious of being gay when I was about 11 years old, but I was very much involved in the church. I had an evangelical Christian home. And so as I got older and I moved into my teen years and it was taking more and more toll hormonally on me, then I also started this whole trip of self-flagellation because I believed that I was going to hell. So I submitted myself to...
you tried to pray the gay way?
Tried to pray the gay way with pastoral therapy, hypnosis, aversion therapy.
It's just unbelievable that this organization could exist for so many years. Is he responsible for the various suicides that might have occurred because of the lies that he was preaching to people about how you can pray the gay way?
I think that it's very possible that those things did lead to people's severe depressions.
Of course.
And we also then we have to draw a question mark on him and his motives and his own marriage.
He's married. He decided he's gay. He's attracted to men, I believe he said, but he still wants to pretend or whatever that he's in love with his wife.
I watched that special, and he said that he has feelings for men, but he loves his wife and he wants to stay in the marriage. It was implied that they have a non-sexual relationship, but that they love each other and they're going to stay together. I feel like his apology was sincere. I feel like he has a hurt over having caused pain, potential suicides. I think closing the ministry was a very good thing.
Very good. I mean, that really sends a signal.
Yes.
Does it send a signal to Michelle Bachmann and her husband who believe in this baloney?
I don't think Michelle Bachmann and her husband are open to hearing any signals. I think that you have to hear the messages that the universe and that the people around you are sending, and they are closed off to any suggestion whatsoever.
I think so too. But luckily she's not running anymore.
That's true. And the great thing about Exodus closing down, and any time that something like this happens, the apology, the closing of the whole organization, it casts a light on truth. And if we can cast a light on the truth, then other people that felt this way might begin to feel a different way. That's one of the reasons we made our movie. Let's
talk about the movie. But this closing down of Exodus sort of takes the air out of the Tea Party believers, that whole Pentecostal shtick that you were talking about.
Right.
You held a ceremony in California even though it wasn't legal. In the film we see that.
Yes.
Tell me a little more about that.
We felt like it was very necessary to make a spiritual ceremony in California to draw attention to Proposition 8. In the film, they actually show that the wedding rings that we made for California are for the middle finger, and that is our statement of Proposition 8.
I see.
It was really important to draw attention to that. You know.
You also had a Jewish ceremony somewhere.
That's
Yeah,
true.
in
Is either
Iowa.
one of you Jewish?
No,
you
but
just
the girl that
decided.
married us was Jewish.
I see.
And so when she
broke the
said,
glass?
yes,
We broke the glass. We stood. We both broke the glass.
we had a
We both
chuppah.
stomped on glasses.
Yeah.
We were under a chuppah. She sang, and she did the prayers and the blessings and everything. It was really beautiful. We loved that one.
So now that you're married, you'll stay married, right? You're not going to get a divorce. And which state would you do it in?
We're
Right.
not going to get a divorce. We've been together 27 years now. It's like Mount Rushmore here. You know?
Yeah,
we're,
yeah.
we're stuck.
That's
We're going
lovely.
to torture each other to the grave.
I so am happy for you. You seem so happy with each other, and I don't see heterosexual couples as happy as you two.
You know, the man that narrates our movie, George Takei, has been with his husband for about the same amount of time that we have.
And you're both husbands, but let's straighten that out for people. When two women get married, they're both brides. When two guys get married, they're both husbands.
That's
right?
true. That's
One is
true.
not the bride and the groom. That's
No, we're two grooms.
two grooms.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
Pat
you.
and Stephen's film, Married and Counting, is available today on iTunes and all major video-on-demand outlets. Thanks to all my guests tonight. See you next time.